Shalom, all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushai, Bahashem Kodesh. Double honors unto the apostles and elders of GMS, who are the true leaders of Israel today, and salutations to all the accurate who do this work in truth and sincerity, who are risking their lives and their freedoms to do so, as well as the scattered Israelites who come looking like the heathen but are not, by way of their forefathers seas, who are Israelite men. The true name of the Most High is Yahweh, and his son's name is Yahushai. And the Lord's holy chosen people are the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, as we're the ones who suffer under the curses in the book of Deuteronomy. My name is excl, and this video is on Bible prophecy regarding World War III, and also the prophecy where America's enemies are going to turn against her. So let me just read that first in Revelation chapter 17 and verse 16. And the 10 horns which thou sawest upon the beast, the 10 horns referring to the European Union, and the beast referring to NATO, these shall hate the whore. The whore is referring to America, and shall make her desolate and naked, and shall eat her flesh, and burn her with fire. So the prophecy is saying that America's allies, the European Union and NATO, will burn her with fire, which means that there must be things to happen in the world leading up to this prophecy where the relationship between America and her allies disintegrates, that they're split apart. And that's very clearly happening right now in the present time. We're living in the prophecy and the rest of these prophecies. We are in the time of prophecy, point blank period. And this prophecy in particular, along with all of the other prophecies, are building up day by day, heading towards their final manifestation, where America will be destroyed by thermonuclear fire, and it will be America's enemies and her allies that will be shooting missiles, the ICBM missiles, at her and destroy her. So this is a judgment that is to come for America and also the nation of Edom, because when it is that America's destroyed, the Edomites will be taken out of power, because Yahushai is also going to return when the missiles are on their way to America to deliver the elect of the nation of Israel and to aid in America's destruction. So all of this is well on its way, and we're seeing it build up right now in real time by way of this leader that has been put into position. And by the way, the Edomites are these so-called white people. All right, it is the so-called white man that is in rulership today. This is their kingdom, and the Edomites are the wicked. So they do not establish the laws, statutes, and commandments of Yahweh Shemeshai. They do not establish righteousness, they only establish wickedness. All right, so their kingdom is coming to an end. That's what we're living through right now. That's what we're witnessing, the fall of the Edomites once again, right? Because they fell during their Roman rulership. They fell, and we were captive there as well. But they came back in their Renaissance period, the rebirth of the Edomites, and they've been in rulership since, properly since from about 1492. That's when they really made some big moves according to history. So now we're seeing the end of their kingdom. And at the end of their kingdom, we're going to be seeing the manifestation of all of these prophecies. One of the prophecies, the main prophecy to look towards, is the mark of the beast prophecy, which is a microchip. Because that prophecy has to be fulfilled before the salvation and the destruction can come. So all eyes are on that prophecy, but all eyes are on all of these prophecies, as we're set as watchmen by Yahweh Shemeshai to report what's going on. And so going back to the situation with America and her allies, we're seeing the relationship splinter, fragment, break apart. And it's great to see. So to start, can start at any one of these. Let's start at this one. Trump, from NBC News, Trump considering major NATO policy shift. The president has discussed possibly favoring members of the alliance that spend a set percentage of their GDP on defense, sources told NBC News. And then you can see here, titled in the video that's playing, EU leaders hold emergency summit to boost support for Ukraine. See that once more. After Trump suspends aid. So yes, Trump has apparently suspended aid to Ukraine, but the European countries are siding with Ukraine, because what happened about a week ago was that the president of Ukraine and the president of America met, and it was a whole show, which led to a big disagreement. And America has been doing things to, I guess one could say, disrespect their allies, because America had talks with Russia and America excluded her allies, NATO and the EU. And so tensions have just been rising because of that. Also, let's not forget the tariff situation, where one of the NATO members has been hit with tariffs by America, which is Canada. Okay, so that's another situation at hand. Okay, but it says, oh, Trump raises doubts about US commitment to NATO. See? So I wonder what he's saying here.
He said that 7 years ago. And because of that, they paid hundreds of billions of dollars. I said, if you're not going to pay your bills, we're not going to defend you.
Are you going to make that policy?
Right, so that's what this is about. So just the beginning of the article. Washington, President Donald Trump is considering a major change to the U.S. participation in the North Atlantic Treaty Organization, NATO, according to 3 current and former senior U.S. officials and 1 congressional official. Trump has discussed with aides the possibility of calibrating America's NATO engagement in a way that favors members of the alliance that spend a set percentage of their gross domestic defense product on defense, the officials say. As part of the potential policy shift, the US might not defend a fellow NATO member that is attacked if the country doesn't meet the defense spending threshold, the officials said. So, I mean, the way I'm seeing this is that Trump is saying you need to spend on defense or else America's not going to defend you, which is going to upset their allies. Of course, it's going to upset their allies because they're confederate together. They're supposed to be working together. These are all Edomite sovereign nations. America, the European countries, NATO, these are all led by the Edomites. So this is an infighting of the Edomites. And then you have the other Edomites, which are the Russians, who, that's what America is against. So you have a whole bunch of sovereign Edomite nations just against each other. Their kingdom is completely splintered. All right. If Trump does make that change, it would mark a significant shift from a core tenet of the alliance known as Article 5, which says that an attack on any NATO country is an attack on all of them, you see? So he would be breaking the disagreement. And of course, they're not liking this because, you know, with whatever that's going on, they know that, you know, they need America's defense. So Trump, who is the ruler of America, and America is known as the hammer of the earth in the scriptures, America is really putting itself forward and saying, yes, that they are the one at the top and they will say and do whatever they want to do. All right. So that's that one. And I have a few articles, so I just want to get to the next one. Trump cast from NBC News as well. Trump casts doubt on NATO commitment as world leaders reconsider sharing intel with US. So this is just escalating. NBC News senior national security correspondent joins Meet the Press now to share her reporting on American allies reconsidering sharing sensitive intelligence, Salakio, with the US as President Trump raises doubt over NATO commitments in the Oval Office. So now the allies are feeling some type of way. And, you know, the scriptures say in the book of Obadiah, it says, all the men of thy confederacy, thy alliance have brought thee even to the border. The men, and so Obadiah is talking about Esau, Edom, the so-called white man. Okay. The men that were at peace with thee have deceived thee and prevailed against thee. They that eat thy bread have laid a wound under thee. There is none understanding in him. So they that eat thy bread, those that have benefited from, being a part of the kingdom of the Edomites. You have America, EU and NATO. They all benefited from what America did. But it's saying they have laid a wound under thee. And how do they do that? By making moves that America does not agree with. So America trying to create a peace treaty, or trying to create peace, allegedly, between Russia and Ukraine, and then America disregarding its allies' opinions on the matter, where its allies stands with Ukraine, and now America and their allies are, not in unison, and then the allies are doing things that would weaken America's position, because not sharing information, sensitive intelligence with the US, as it says, with the US as president raises doubt over NATO commitments, right? Because NATO isn't feeling the alliance between them and America. So there are doubts that are being risen from, as it says, raises doubt over NATO commitments. So they're breaking apart. And this is all according to Bible prophecy. Okay? Then you have, from the People's Voice, German president warns Europe dangerously close to war with United States. German President Frank-Walter Steinmeier has warned that Europe stands dangerously close to the precipice of armed conflict with the United States, an alarming escalation that threatens the stability of transatlantic relations. Steinmeier's stark warning follows a disastrous meeting in the Oval Office on Friday between Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky and US President Donald Trump. The German president warned that Trump's explicit threat to abandon support for Ukraine, a critical bulwark against Russian aggression, could provoke European countries into pursuing active military retaliation against the United States, a scenario that risks shattering decades of NATO unity and igniting an unprecedented transatlantic crisis. So, you just heard it, man, right? America's allies are standing up against her. And this is all according to Bible prophecy, that this would happen. Those of us that believe sincerely in Yahweh Shemishah know these prophecies and have the full truth. We always knew that based off of the prophecy that the days would come where America's allies would be breaking apart from her, breaking away from her. And so we're seeing it happen right now. So we're living in the midst of Bible prophecy. And the scriptures say in the book of Mark, chapter 3 and verse 24, and if a kingdom be divided against itself, that kingdom cannot stand. And Esau's kingdom is divided, the kingdom of the so-called white man. And if a house be divided against itself, that house cannot stand. And their house is in fact divided. And if Satan rise up against himself and be divided, he cannot stand, but at an end. And Esau, the Edomites, they are the physical representation of the spirit Satan. So they are divided, and it says he cannot stand but at an end. So their end is coming. And the scriptures already let us know that Esau's end would come. And we know how it will end, by way of thermonuclear fire. And so now we're just seeing it all manifest. Their kingdom is being torn apart by Yahweh Shemishai. And this whole war thing is a part of Bible prophecy as well. Because the situation in Revelation 17 verse 16, where they're going to burn America, that's going to happen at the end of World War III. So World War III is going to happen before the destruction of America. And in Revelation chapter 11 verse 14, it says, the second woe is past, which is World War II, and behold, the third woe cometh quickly. So that's World War III. And that's what we're speedily heading towards. Because you also have here, China issues warning to US. China issues war warning to US, ready to fight till the end. So you have China, which is, the Moabites who are heathen, and they are allied with Russia according to the BRICS. They are emboldened. They are saying that they are ready to fight the US. China says it is ready for any type of war with US, whether it be trade war or, the physical war with the soldiers fighting and all that kind of stuff. Right? So China is emboldened. China has warned the US it is ready to fight any type of war after hitting back against President Donald Trump's mounting trade tariffs. They're not afraid, man. And this is the spirit that Yahweh Shemeshai is putting on the heathen as well, to not be afraid of America anymore and be willing to fight with her. And due to the relationships that have been formed between the heathen and Russia, they are feeling very emboldened, because the scriptures say that in Ezekiel chapter 38 that Russia, referred to as Gog and Magog, will be a guard unto them, a guard unto its allies. And then you have Trump threatens Russia with new sanctions. So just as the other day, Trump had this meeting with the president of Russia, and it appeared to be somewhat amicable, it's really not. Because here it is today, March 7th, 2025, Trump threatens Russia with new sanctions. Large-scale restrictions could affect the nation's banking sector, as well as trade, the US president has said. So America's just making enemies out of everyone. And it's going to get to the point where America's only ally is going to be the state of Israel, which America really serves the state of Israel. When you look at the amount of funding and the amount of, money that goes into, the state of Israel, the Israelis. All right. So US President Donald Trump has threatened Moscow with a new round of large-scale sanctions until a Ukraine ceasefire is reached. The restrictions would target the Russian banking sector and include tariffs on the country's foreign trade, he announced in a post on Truth Social on Friday. Okay, well, so there it is. Trump is saying that unless there's a ceasefire, that there are going to be sanctions or whatever it is. But Russia's a part of Bible prophecy too. Russia is going to be a major part of America's destruction. The scriptures say the Medes. It says here in Jeremiah chapter 13 and verse 17, first, behold, I will stir up the Medes, referring to the Russians, against them. We shall not regard silver, and as for gold, they shall not delight in it. And Isaiah 13 is talking about the destruction of America. Okay? And then you have here, Jeremiah 51 and 11, make bright the arrows, gather the shields. The Lord Yahweh hath raised up the spirit of the kings of the Medes, referring to the Russians, for his devices against Babylon, which is America, to destroy it, because it is the vengeance of the Lord Yahweh, the vengeance of his temple. So America is still an enemy to Russia. Okay? And now America is making its own allies her enemies. And it's all going according to Bible prophecy. All right? And it's going to lead as well to this situation over here. In the book of Job chapter 3 and verse 9, proclaim ye this among the Gentiles, prepare war, wake up the mighty men, let the men of war draw near, let them come up. Beat your plowshares into swords and your pruning hooks into spears. Let the weak say, I am strong. And that's what they're saying, man. These heathen nations are emboldened because they're confederate together. And, that's just the spirit the Lord is putting upon them. Assemble yourselves and come, all ye heathen, and gather yourselves together round about. Thither cause thy mighty ones to come down, O Lord Yahweh. Let the heathen be wakened and come up to the valley of Jehoshaphat, for there will I sit to judge all the heathen round about. And this is going to happen over there in the so-called Middle East, which is really Western Asia. Put ye in the sickle, for the harvest is ripe. Come, get you down, for the press is full, the fats overflow, for their wickedness is great. Multitudes, multitudes in the valley of decision, for the day of the Lord Yahweh is near in the valley of decision. So Yahweh Shemishai is going to be gathering the heathen over there to that place. And that's where World War III is going to be popping off. And then at the end of World War III, America is going to be destroyed by a thermonuclear fire. And Esau's kingdom will come to an end. And then after that, they will go into captivity under the Israelites. And then they will be done away with after the 1,000 years, the nation of Edom. So we're in some very beautiful times, man. Okay? So with that, all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh Shemishai, by Shemaka Kodesh. Shalom.